Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we'll be talking about the spell Instant Summons. Poof. Yeah. Um, this this feels like one of those spells that I don't know. I don't have the imagination to see how this is useful, or is it just bad?
It's just bad.
Well, let's get into it. What does Instant Summons do?
Oh god. Do I have to? Okay. This is a ritual spell. That's a good place to start. It's a 6th level ritual spell. So you might be wondering, audience, Sam, you like ritual spells. Why would you hate this? Why does this automatically be like, oh, this spell's so bad? Okay. So it's got a minute cast time. It's got a range of touch, so you touch a thing. It requires a verbal, somatic, and material component, and we'll wrap back to that when we're done. It lasts until dispelled. All this sounds great. You touch an object weighing 10 or less pounds. That has to be within 6 feet or less. The spell leaves an invisible mark on the surface that you can inscribe as, and it invisibly inscribes the name of the item on the sapphire they have to use as a material component. Each time you cast the spell, you must use a different sapphire. After any time thereafter, you can crush the sapphire, say the item's name, and bam, it appears in your hand. If another creature is holding the item, you don't transport the item to you anymore, but instead know who the creature possessing the object is and roughly where they are at that moment. And here's the fun bit. These sapphires cost $1,000 a pop.
Yeah. I mean, I think the fun bit is if somebody else is holding it, it just doesn't work. You lost a sapphire. Yeah. I know who's holding it. The person it belongs to, or the person who stole it from me. I know where they are. They're at home. That doesn't help me. I want my stuff back.
Yeah, precisely. Like, oh my god, why is that so bad? Would it have been really broken to be like, nah, the item's just here now? I don't think so. Oh man, there is.
I mean, what is this for? Who, when they wrote this spell, what were they thinking?
You really, really want to have a torch on you for 1,000 gold. I don't know, man. I think what you're supposed to do is inscribe this on your spell book, and then you can like smuggle a sapphire into a high priority event instead of your spell book. But like, you don't need your spell book anyway. You can have other spells prepared that don't require material components, and you can just like have like you don't need it. I guess it's a way to like if your spell book is lost or stolen, but then it can't be being held if it's lost or stolen. And if that is the case, you're just like, oh great, I know where they were in the moment that I crushed the sapphire, where they generally speaking are, but I don't get the book back or anything.
Right.
I
Because you can't, if it doesn't work, then the link is broken. You can't cast it on another sapphire if you don't have your spell book with you, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks.
It like I really struggle. You could tell me this is a first level ritual spell that costs like 15 gold to use, and I'd be like, okay, maybe it's like a little convenience thing, right? Like you can stash away items and be like, haha, I summoned a short sword because I can't get a great sword because that's definitely more than 10 pounds, but I can summon the short sword. Neat.
A magic short sword?
Sure. Like that's not worth a 6th level spell slot.
No, uh, or 1,000 gold to be able to keep it somewhere else and
Yeah.
summon it when you need it. Just carry it.
Yeah. Like I can't. The 10-pound limitation may not seem crazy, but that's limiting you pretty heavily. A lot of things that within the 6x6 feet, like how many things in real life that have a variety of uses weigh less than 10 pounds? It's not a lot. Like, I think you would be pressed to find in the medieval era, like in the high fantasy setting, things worth 1,000 gold to summon to you that are less than 10 pounds and smaller than 6 feet. Like the constraints around the objects you're allowed to summon seem wild to me, especially for what's supposed to be like an upper tier, expensive quality of life thing. Let them conjure bring the cannon to them if they want. Like maybe you put this on a cannon to break through a wall. Maybe you put this on a large satchel of like TNT or whatever. Let that happen. Don't make it so it only works on simple weapons and small things in the player's handbook. Like that. If it's not a magic weapon, you don't ever want to use this. If it is a magic weapon and it gets stolen, if someone knows this exists, they just keep a hand on it, right? They just keep it on their person, and then you can't summon it anymore, and then the spell doesn't do anything.
Does it explicitly say that you can't cast this on a person?
They have to be 10 pounds or lighter, so you can put this on an infant.
Oh God, yeah, never mind.
So I will say it doesn't say or creature. Most things that reference objects are specifically non-creatures. So,
the 10 pounds thing ruins that plan.
Maybe a pixie friend, right? I don't know. Maybe a familiar.
No, I'm struggling to find some use for this.
Yeah, like in the show notes, I have like what are comparable to this. So the Warlock's worst pact that they make at second level is the Pact of the Blade. It's largely understood to be the worst. All it lets you do is choose any weapon you'd like and summon it as an action, and you're proficient with that weapon and can hit stuff with it. The idea is it lets you kind of be a martial character. And the reason why no one thinks it's very good is because you can already do all the things that it does on a regular Warlock with short swords and have no problem whatsoever. And instead, you can have a cool-ass familiar, or you can have a book with a bunch of free cantrips, and just all of those are better than it. Where I think Pact of the Blade is at its most interesting is summoning like, oh, well, we need to hold a doorway. I'm going to summon a polearm to jam it for the time being, and then I can conjure and do one down the road and just keep summoning around, right? This is worse than a second level feature that is doing that effect, right? Like that effect lets you just get whatever object and weapon you want at any given time. It doesn't care about the weight or size. It cares about the size a little bit, but like it doesn't care about the weird conditions this has.
Right.
Weapon bond is an alternate feature that does a similar thing where you bond to an object or weapon and then you can just summon it to you as a bonus action. So that's how that works. The creation spell is one that we talked about before, and I was like, I don't think this is it. I don't think this is very good either. And that lets you conjure things into existence. This just lets you summon them. And it's a very small list.
And you have to crush the Sapphire, which is heartbreaking. But also, what do you crush a Sapphire with? You have to carry around a hammer?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't think Sapphires are like dull enough that you can just be like squish. I think you have to like. Oh man. If they didn't destroy the Sapphire, it'd be like, I guess that's fine, because you just put it on something. Like it's like a really expensive way to enchant a magic or an item to make it a magic item that you can teleport to you. That's kind of like you got gold to throw around. Doing it once, that can't be worth it.
No.
Like I don't care how much gold you have. That's a lot of effort.
And I'm still trying to envision scenarios where this would be useful, and I keep coming back to, all right, you get thrown in prison or something, but I mean, anyone who takes you prisoner is damn sure gonna take your 1,000 gold piece sapphires from you.
And like, I'm gonna level with you. If you're getting thrown in prison and have access to 6th level spell slots and are a wizard, nope. This better be one hell of a prison. And if it's one hell of a prison, I promise whatever with that simple item that you have attached to it is not getting you out of it.
I don't know.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything good to say about this spell.
I think this could be a first level ritual with like a 15 gold cost. And I'd still be like, do you need this? It's pretty harmless, but like, do you need this? At a 6th level slot for 1,000 gold? Absolutely not.
No.
One.
You got anything else to say? One? Yeah, I'm 100% agree with you here. One. However, viewers, I welcome your comments. What are we missing here?
We have to be missing something. Maybe we've misread it like 13 times.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be something here that we're not seeing.
So tell us in the comments below. Until then, this has been Instant Summons. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.